Hello YouTube, this is Frank from Architectural Aesthetics, and today in this video we'll be doing something very different in the sense that although this painting is still related to watercolor and still pertains to the world of architecture, whereas my old works were created with the help of reference photos, this one is entirely conjured up in my imagination. And just to touch on this point a little bit more, I personally believe that the ability to draw or paint from imagination is vital for visual artists, because if your artistic competence is limited to just replicate whatever you see in reference photos, then I believe that your creative endeavor is going to be severely restricted, because the primary reason why we revere the true great masters such as Da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael lies in not so much in their ability to replicate whatever they see in the real world onto the canvases, but rather in the originality, in the novelty, in the ingenuity in their works. And the other reason why I was inspired to create this painting is because of my love for mythology. You guys must know at this point that I am a sucker for mythology, meaning that I love learning about lores, legends, and stories about ancient civilizations. It's almost like an addiction of mine, because I believe that for architects to renew their creativity, there's very little things that can compare to the inspirations provided by the age-long epic stories that are passed on to us by our ancestors. And speaking of which, the lores and mythologies revolving the ancient Egyptian civilization and the ancient Egyptian pyramids in particular is very thick, in the sense that there exist numerous theories, legends regarding not only how these giant monuments were created, but also the purpose why they were created in the first place. And among all the mythologies, among all the legends, my personal favorite is the alien visitation theory, which postulates that the construction methods the ancient Egyptians adopted to create all these awesome monuments were taught to them by a highly intelligent alien species that came to visit them. And this alien visitation notion is not reserved for the ancient Egyptian civilization, but also very prevalent in many other civilizations that were contemporary to the ancient Egyptians all around the globe, such as the ancient Mayans. And scholars, hobbyists, and even conspiracy theory enthusiasts found quote-unquote evidences of this phenomenon in not only the pictorial language these ancient people used, but also visual representations of non-human-like beings in their artifacts. And with that said, for this particular painting, which I intend to name as either Visitation or Enlightenment, my ambition is to capture the moment where the pharaoh, which is the person who has the absolute authority, the absolute power in his respective civilization, converses or has a meeting with the intelligent alien being. And I thought, what else can create a better impact in my audience than to have this immensely respected, immensely revered absolute authority, the pharaoh, to just kneel down before this alien creature and just beg for his wisdom, for his technology, for his enlightenment. And that's exactly what I did. And besides that, I really made a point to make the alien creature appear as creepy as possible by ignoring my knowledge of human anatomy, and just to make this creature look as uncanny as possible by elongating his limbs, by making his eyes not to have pupils but two black globes, etc., etc. And you can see that in the midground, the top of the pyramid is being transported and later to be assembled onto the rest of the mass by some very advanced alien technology. And speaking of the midground, speaking of the pyramid, I think just to give some self-criticism, I think the midground is a bit empty. I think the whole composition would look better if I were to add some details like construction sites or some people just beholding this almost miraculous construction process. However, for the time frame that I gave myself for this painting, which I spent just a couple of hours on this piece, I'm quite content with the outlook. Alright guys, that's all I gotta say about this painting and about this video. I certainly had a lot of fun painting something solely for my own entertainment, and I sincerely hope that you found this type of content to be entertaining. With that said, I will see all of you in the next week's video. Bye bye.